You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have got your Young and the Restless early edition spoilers for the week of Monday, July 31st through Friday, August 4th. There is a lot to unpack. First of all, wow, can you believe that July is over? When did that happen? It's still hot as heck outside, but we are tiptoeing towards fall. The kids are getting ready to go back to school, and that means also that July sweeps has ended, and we suspect that the velocity of the scripts moving forward is going to slow up a little bit. Everything was amped up for July sweeps, but that is well and over. All right, we've got 4 huge spoilers heading into this week ahead that we are so excited to tell you about, and we're going to dig right in. So the first spoiler ties back to something that happens on Friday. So I want to talk about this coming Friday real quick. So Victor teaches Adam a harsh lesson, and Adam is not very happy. I'm guessing this has something to do with the new business. And even though Adam and Sharon and Nick all told Victor that if they were going to work together and merge her company with Audustus, which is a terrible business name, just by the way, it does not roll off the tongue. It sounds like dust on us, like we're dusty. Anyway, all right. So they were supposed to have 6 months of autonomy, but it almost sounds like Victor is nosing in where they're not expecting him to. And so I'm wondering, because the spoiler for the week of July 31st is that Nick Newman takes control. So Adam is kind of supposed to be sort of running the company, and then Sharon and Nick working with him. And I wonder if Adam has irritated Victor to the extent that Victor says, all right, Nick's in charge. You work for Nick now. That would be very interesting. And honestly, it probably wouldn't be a bad thing, because Adam can be so volatile and he still wants to take aim at Newman Media, and Victor doesn't want any of that because he's eventually going to pull these other companies under the Newman Enterprises umbrella, and he already warned Adam about that. So, but you know, Adam just keeps pushing and pushing. So in terms of Nick taking control, I'm not sure what else he would be taking control of except for the company. So that's where I feel that spoiler is going, but we'll see if I'm right or not next week. All right, before we dig into the other 3 big spoilers, if you haven't, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates. If you click the bell, you'll get a notification when there's a brand new video for you to watch. All right, so the next spoiler is that Phyllis takes on a new challenge. There's 2 different things that this could be. One of them is that she could accept Adam's job offer to come do IT over at Audustus. Remember, he offered her the job, and then he told her it might be a good way for her to get back in Nick's good graces, since she'd be working with Nick every day. But Phyllis's immediate reaction was to turn him down. However, I don't think anybody else in Genoa City is going to hire her unless Michael needs a new legal secretary, but you couldn't have Phyllis in there. Attorney-client privilege, she'd be telling everybody what the client said. So maybe she rethinks refusing Adam's job offer, or it could be about a challenge that Tucker sets her. Remember, Tucker wants her to break Jack and Diane up. He's told her to go get closer to Jack, and sure enough, by Thursday, July 27th, she does get some FaceTime with Jack, but that's not going to slow Jack's roll at all, because on Friday, it looks like Jack and Diane are going to have a quickie wedding, or they're going to elope. He suggested on Wednesday that they should just find a justice of the peace and get married ASAP. He wants to be her husband right now. So maybe Phyllis's new challenge is from Tucker, and it's to ruin Jack and Diane's wedding. If you check our Y&R playlist, we actually did a standalone video on this, because it feels like Phyllis is running out of time. Tucker's given her kind of an unreasonable task and an unreasonable timeline in which to accomplish it, because Diane and Jack are smitten. They are heading towards the altar, and it's not just going to be some quick and easy thing for Phyllis to split them. And so we suggested in this standalone video, you should definitely go check it out, different ways that she might go about wrecking their wedding day. All right, our next spoiler is that Billy Abbott is facing a moral dilemma. And I feel certain that this is about the plot that you're going to hear about Wednesday, July 26th. And that's where Billy and Jack and Diane are cooking up a Trojan horse scenario. If you have heard the phrase but don't know what it is, the Trojan horse was this big, like wooden horse thing, big enough to hold people. And it was delivered, this is a Greek thing, I think. You can tell me in the comments, but don't tell me I'm stupid for not knowing. I know what a Trojan horse is. I just can't remember if it's Greek or not. I definitely think it's Greek. But so the Trojan horse would fit like a whole bunch of soldiers in it. And it was like delivered as a gift to a king who had this impregnable fortress. So they couldn't break in to conquer it. But they delivered this horse and it's a gift. And then they bring the Trojan horse inside, and then at night, like while everybody's sleeping, they open the butt or the belly of the horse. I don't remember which way the story went, but the soldiers come out and then they can besiege and take over from the inside. That's the plan for Billy. He's supposed to be a Trojan horse. They're going to stage an argument between Jack and Diane against Billy to make it look like Billy's on the outs with them, and Billy has no more patience with Diane and wants her gone, whatnot, to try and get Tucker and Ashley to lure him closer. Jack did express concern because he was worried that Ashley might be able to actually tempt him, and Billy kind of was bothered by that suggestion. So with this moral dilemma, I'm wondering of which direction it's facing. Like if Billy's starting to feel bad about spying on his sister for his brother, or if he's tempted to go to the dark side like Jack was worried about, and then he is feeling guilty about possibly turning his back on Jack. So one way or the other, Ashley and Jack continue to pull the family apart. All right, we have one last big and juicy spoiler for the week of July 31st. If you haven't already, though, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. And if you're enjoying these early weekly spoilers, we'd love it if you would click a like, and we appreciate your comments. I read every single one of them. I don't always have time to reply, but I read them all every day. That's my end of the day activity, is I read your comments, and I love them, and thank you all for listening. All right, our very last spoiler is that Lily has a surprise for Daniel Romalotti. Remember, she has just moved in to Devon's penthouse, which was originally bought. Well, Devon bought it and it annoyed Hillary, and then Neil lived there for a while. And so now Lily is there. And what I think is interesting is that she's all alone in that big place. Devon and Abby have moved over to the Chancellor Mansion. Chance has exited to an apartment nearby because he thinks Dom should be at the house full time. So maybe Lily is going to ask Daniel to move in with him. That would be kind of interesting because his ex Heather is in town, and I'm still wondering, hopefully she's still seeing this new guy and isn't going to try and interfere, but you never know. But I think that'd be really sweet if these high school sweeties moved in together, and I'm enjoying their romance. It needs a little drama, but Phyllis is going to provide that. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Be sure and check back for full weekly Young and the Restless spoilers later this week on our Soap Dirt on YouTube channel. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.